there is what is. I may be jealous, I may be greedy, I may be hurt, that is what is. It may be coming from illusion, but its existence is a fact in my being. So I may have a habit, I may be a smoker, I may whatever. That's what it is. How do I approach what is? Do I approach it with an opinion that it should not be so? I want to change it, I want to get rid of it, and so on. Then I am manipulating it. Right? The other is, I can approach it as a student. That it is something that exists. It is a phenomenon of human consciousness. I am able to watch my own consciousness, so this is one sample of that. It's like you do an experiment in a laboratory, but you understand what's happening out there in space, right? You're just watching this, it's a pilot plant project within which you are, but it applies universally. So you're watching your own consciousness, that is the small laboratory in which you are doing your experiment to learn from it. But what you learn from it is not only about you, you learn about mankind. You learn about human consciousness, because that same consciousness is operating in you. Now, do I approach myself, into inverted commas, the conditioning and so on, in that way, with a learning mind, which says I want to learn about this thing, or do I approach myself ambitiously wanting to change things? Then I am approaching myself also egotistically, and the ego is sustained. So the desire to learn is not an egotistic desire, but the desire to become is an egotistic desire. If you approach it egotistically, you will never get out of the trap of the ego, because the means are the end. So it is very important. It does not require you to be free. It requires you to approach what is, whatever. It may be greed, it may be selfishness, without shame, without judgment, without wanting to change it. That is not a decision. It comes from the self-knowledge or the perception that I can't change myself. I can't change myself. Change can happen to me, but I can't change myself, because the I is the problem, right? The I is the block. I can't change myself. Change can happen. It is a byproduct of learning. If I perceive the truth acts. The perception of truth acts. Not my will, not my decision. So there is, both Buddha has talked about it and Krishnamurti talks about it. Effortless effort. They said effortless effort, which is non-egotistic effort. Which means there is this passion for understanding myself, for learning about human consciousness. Not myself, but human consciousness.